Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to make a quick setup on the Enterprise Global Edition, especially the supervisor setting. Let's see, we're going to use a couple of cards. Let's say card one, that's going to be a user. We want to set that user as a supervisor and having the other user as normal user. And we want to set up an area where if there is no supervisor inside, nobody can access that area. So, which means even if you have access to this door, to this area, in order for you to get in, the supervisor has to be inside first. Okay, so we're going to create card one, a user, and set that as supervisor. There is different level. We're going to see how to set the level. And then we're going to set, as example here, card two will be a normal user. And we're going to set the area. We're going to create an area in where you get inside and an area out where you're leaving the area. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. Operation door, I have a global system, and I have 4 door. And the area I'm going to work, it's the server room. Obviously, that's going to be the outside part of the server room and the inside part of the server room. I also have some other area like lobby and conference room, but those are access door. Okay, now so we're going to need area. Where do we do that? Definition, area. By default, you have the unknown area in the global. So let's go new, and this is gonna be outside. If I want to go deeper, I can say I will inside server room in that particular case. And the outside, you can leave it known. I mean, you can leave if you're inside a room and you want to leave, no problem. Inside server room. Here we want to set that. Of course, we're going to save. We want to set it so you need, as I have in there, in area supervisor, and in miscellaneous, I'm going to say supervisor level, you need to be level 1. As you can see, it can be from 0 to 15. And we need a supervisor to open the area. I mean, if there is no one inside, sorry for you, you have to wait for a supervisor. And also, we want it to be the supervisor to be the last one to exit. Meaning, let's say you have 2 users inside, and one of those users will be definitely a supervisor with 2 regular users. So the supervisor cannot leave while the regular users are inside the room. Okay. Okay, so let's show my setting. So right now I have out, known, area in, supervisor level 1, supervisor to open an area, and okay. Now, of course, now let's go create the user because we don't have the user yet. And let's make sure we're done with the setting. Now we're going to devices door. Let's say server room in, go to the area tab. This is gonna be before you get inside that room, I mean you come from the outside. That's why it's a area before and area after. That's inside the room. Okay. Of course, you have some additional setting if you need, for example, dual custody. If you need two user to access, and you can also decide what type of user. So for now we go normal, and you also have on the time anti passback. This is to avoid the situation, common situation we have in access control. For example, I have a card and um, I swipe to a door and I access the door, and I'm inside now, and I could swipe the exit reader without leaving and give my card to somebody outside so they can come in. This is a common situation in access control, and with this option, you can avoid that because, for example, you can say restrict access and say you have to wait at least 4 minutes before you can swipe out and so you can get in again. But this is not the topic for today, so let's move on. Now let's go outdoor, all right, outside to get. Okay, so we have area before. So the area before in that particular situation will be if you're coming from the inside server room and after you outside of the server room. Okay, so door and area are set up correctly. Now user, as you can see, I have no user, up and down, no user. So I can create a user. As you know, let me do it an easy way. I can come here, desktop 1. I just swipe and I can right click in here, edit card. So like that, I already have my card number. Okay, I'm gonna go access level. Of course, that will require us to create an access level. I'm an access level. From there, I can create an access level. Let's say supervisor server 1. I'm gonna need a schedule. I can create it straight from here. Just right click in new supervisor. Let's say the supervisor has access from Monday to Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Alright. So that's the supervisor. So I have an access level for the supervisor. Okay. Now we don't want to forget access 9. I go back to the card and remember there is one important. The supervisor we said gonna be supervisor level 1. So that's where you define the level. The next user going to be a regular user. I can do the same, edit card, regular user. I'm going to need an access level. I can make a right click here, regular user. From, let's say, from 08 from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Alright, so we have our user ready, and this user is regular, so we don't have any supervisor level assigned to him. Okay, we can clear this. Alright, Let's make a quick check, make sure. Because no one, those users are new, they never swipe, they never went to a door yet, they never access granted, so the system don't know yet where they are. So they are in unknown area. Now, once we swipe, we'll know where they are. For example, let's go with here I have access denied, supervisor level required. Why? Because I use the regular user card, as you can see in here, to access the area. But the area is defined the way, in order for that user to access that door, to go inside the server room, the supervisor needs to be inside. Therefore, if I swipe in here, now I have access granted, which means Imani, which is a supervisor, access the room, and it says area open. Now, I have access and I have access level for the regular user. Let's see why. Oh, access granted. Access granted. So, okay, regular user access. Now, if the regular user want to leave, okay, so let's check what's going on. Okay, now remember, for this to work perfectly, you need door contact because, better to have door contact. Okay, now let's test again. Let's clean up the screen. Too much. So, we can check area. Okay, server room, no one. Outside, global gateway. Alright, so we have the two users there outside. So since right now inside is empty, inside the server room, if everything is done right and if we swipe the regular user, we should have access denied. Why? Because we need a supervisor. Okay, we swipe, it said access denied, supervisor level required. That's why the regular user cannot enter. Now, if we swipe the supervisor, we have access granted. We open the door to say we are inside, and it's saying area open. Since area is open now, regular user can now access. So I'm gonna swipe, and now the regular user is inside. Okay, now if the supervisor wants to leave, I have access denied. Why? Because he cannot leave since there is someone else inside. So let's try again the supervisor, and we can see the supervisor cannot leave because we set the area as the supervisor. One supervisor need to be inside if anybody else is there. For the last supervisor to leave, everyone need to leave first. So now I swipe and regular user left. Now supervisor can leave and area is closed again. So let's review the setting. We wanted to set up, access an area, and design the system a way that we have a secure area where for somebody, regular user to access, you need a user with a higher level supervisor. So how we do that? First, we have to define the area, definition area. By default, you have the global gateway unknown area. You have unknown area, which is if you just create a user card and this user never swipe, will not know what that user is. The system will not know either until that user swipe. So we did that test and we saw after that everybody, once the first swipe, the user will be localized and confirm which part of the system they are. So we created the inside of the server room because we have a room, it's a server room, and we need a supervisor for someone to access that room. So this area, we call it inside server room, just to make sure whenever somebody comes, they can know what that area is. And this area, we said, as a passback, you need to be a supervisor. And in miscellaneous, we said supervisor level, supervisor with level 1 can enter. Supervisor to open area, we need at least one. We could supervisor to open the area. And supervisor must be the last to exit. This part in here is to make sure at a certain time of the day, everyone, let's say if the place closes at let's say at 7 p.m. we could schedule what we call an area transfer. That will make sure that no one is at the unknown area. So I could create a schedule in here, for example, and say everyone out, and every day I could say from 23:59 to 24:00 with that type of schedule. I can set everyone outside. So like that, no one will be on an undefined, unknown area. Alright, so that was just to show you so. And let's see, in the outside area, we just create the outside area. Now, if you're inside, you don't need passback. You can leave unless you're a supervisor and there is somebody else inside. So that's the way we design the system. Now, the outside of the server room, you can be outside, no problem. So we don't need any passback setting. I mean, unless you, based on your setup, is different. Okay. So we prove that everything is working fine. No issue. We can test that again. And we can test that a way that you can see what's going on. Into it. So we can see the event, and at the same time we can see. Alright, let's say inside the room, we check, no one. We're gonna try the user regular, and of course we know access denied, supervisor level required. Now we try with the supervisor, and we see supervisor is in, and here you see card in 1, and if I check, I have the card number of the user, the name, and his level, supervisor. Now the normal user can access the area. Okay, and we see card in area 2. These, as you can see, we need to synchronize. And now we see we have two users inside. Now we test that. Let's test it again. If the supervisor wants to leave, he cannot because the area is not clear. You see, area not clear, server room. Okay. And now for the supervisor to leave, everyone need to leave the room. So we have someone, the regular user, left, and now supervisor can leave. And we can see, and here in this area where we at, inside server room, no one. If we come here, we have two. In outside of the server room, we have two. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this video can help you to proceed with your supervisor and area setting. I wish you all a wonderful day. Okay, let's stop now.